Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go! So this happened a while back in March 2021. So my memory of the story isn't 100% clear, but I'll tell it the best I can. Part of my routine of getting back into the world is going to the gym on a regular basis, and I decided that I would sign up to a larger purple-themed branch of the gym. I'll let you guess which. Anyways, I went in for the first time and there were two ladies working at the reception that were around my age, 20s. I began talking about signing up for the gym, and being the antisocial person I am, began talking and asking way more questions than I thought. Not important, but I'm trying to tell the story right. A few minutes later, an older gentleman, I'm going to assume he was either a grandfather or a father, because he definitely had a dad bod, talks to the other women about locker stuff. I didn't really pay much attention to the conversation as I was talking to the other women, but what took me aback was the next thing he did. He not only yelled at her with names I shouldn't say here, but then also smacked a hand sanitizer bottle at her. Not hitting her, but just being a dirtbag about the situation. The lady then cancelled his gym membership for assaulting a staff member. Needless to say, we were all very good friends after this altercation. A little background on this story. First, I have a fairly decent car for it being so old, 16-year-old Dodge Neon SE, and I have zero interest in getting anything different since it's reliable. Still gets great gas mileage, is completely paid off, and handles great. It's blue with a massive rust spot on the rear passenger side, just above the gas tank, but I don't care. It gives the car character, you know? Second, this story takes place in Michigan, where, as anyone who lives here or has driven through here knows, the roads here suck. Potholes, uneven streets, and jagged pavement on every stretch of road you'll ever drive down. Getting a flat tire at least once in your life while living here is both a guarantee and a rite of passage. The flat tire detail is relevant. The cast includes the entitled parent, entitled brat, dealership owner, and me. I was driving through town after my shift at work and had to take a really bad street because that's all I had available to me. I do my best to avoid potholes, but I end up striking a few anyway, and lo and behold, my rear driver's side tire takes a hit. I can feel that something's wrong with the tire, so I pull out the road into the nearest open drive I could find. Turns out I picked a used car lot and had plenty of room to inspect the damage. When I step out of the car to look at the tire, another car pulls into the lot behind me and proceeds to park on the other side. I noticed that the tire was low but not flat, because fortunately that pothole only loosened the seal on a stem valve, and I could fix it with a can of Fix-A-Flat that I kept in my trunk. While I'm fussing with my tire, the dealership owner comes out to greet me, most likely assuming I'm there to either trade in my car or shop around. When he sees my tire is low, he insists I slowly pull my car further away from the side of the road and up toward the front of the dealership building out of safety concerns. I agree and move my car where instructed. Turns out I was being watched by a dreaded entitled parent and her demonic spawn. Not long after I got my car moved up, the dealership owner was lending me a hand and helping with my tire, making sure the valve was secured and that the pressure was stable. I thanked him for his help and proceeded to sit back down in my car. As I put the key in the ignition, I hear something bang against my window and look up to see a woman, a stereotypical Karen trying to get my attention. I roll my window down to see what she wants. And that's my bad. Yeah, what's up?
Are you through yet?
Am I what?
Through. Are you through because my daughter's been waiting long enough?
I look past her and see her 16-year-old daughter dressed in a dark miniskirt, white tank top, and 4-inch heels. This is February, by the way. She was also wearing so much cheap makeup you'd think she was auditioning for a role as a Joker. I ask, waiting for what?
Don't act cute. She needs her turn. You've taken up enough of our time.
What are you talking about?
Are you stupid? Your test drive is over. Now it's my daughter's turn.
The entitled brat is standing behind her entitled parent with her arms crossed over her chest and giving me a smug, "Wow, are all you commoners so stupid" type of grin on her arrogant face. Oh, I figured it out quickly and tried to defuse the situation. I wasn't on a drive test. I say get out. That's my car.
No, it's not. I just saw you pull back into the lot. We were behind you the whole time, so don't try to lie to me.
I wasn't.
You didn't even go inside the building to sign the papers, so I know you're lying to me. You didn't buy this car, you're just being a stubborn little brat.
No, this is my car. I have the…
What's wrong with you? Get out now.
No, this is my car.
No, it's not. My daughter wants it and I'm going to buy it for her right now.
She tried to pull open my door, but thankfully I locked it when I got inside.
Give me the key.
Before I had the chance to say anything, she reached through my window and made a grab for the key in the ignition. The key that was on a key ring was my apartment key and 4 other keychains, so clearly not the dealership's key. When she tried to pull it out, I grabbed her arm and pushed her back. Get away.
You little witch, you just assaulted me.
I quickly roll up my window and I'm ready to turn over the engine and drive off when I see the dealership owner returning. Ma'am, what's going on? He asks.
This little witch just assaulted me. Call the police. She attacked me because I told her to let my daughter have a test drive, and now she's trying to steal the car.
The dealership owner looks at me, looks at my worn-out, dirty car with a faded bumper sticker on the trunk, and gives the woman the classic, "Are you serious right now?" stare. Ma'am, this car isn't for sale. This is her car.
No, it's not. Until she signs the paper, it's not hers, and my daughter wants to drive it. She just got her license, and I promised her I'd get her a blue car. This is the only blue car in the lot.
It was not, by the way. There was another blue car parked behind her. And yes, her 16-year-old daughter, who just got her license, was going to test drive a car in heels. Ma'am, this car isn't mine to sell. It already belongs to her.
No, it doesn't. I saw her drive the car onto the lot and I saw you telling her to pull up to the building. Stop trying to lie to me.
She had a low tire. She pulled off because…
Why won't you let my daughter have her turn? She deserves her turn. Is it because my daughter isn't dressing like this witch?
I am wearing blue jeans, tennis shoes, a baggy shirt with Kirby Nintendo on it, and a green jacket over top. The only skin visible is on my hands, neck, and face. Ma'am, stop. I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
No, my daughter needs this car. I promised her, and all you're doing is wasting my time.
I'm asking you nicely to leave before I call the cops.
You do that and I'm telling the cops that this witch assaulted me, pushed my daughter, and that you're selling stolen cars. Now give my daughter this car right now or else. She actually said or else like a cartoon villain.
Ma'am, just leave.
This is ridiculous.
She pulled her phone from her purse and proceeded to call the cops herself.
You're going to regret being so disrespectful to me. All you had to do was sell me this car. But no, you decided this witch was better than my daughter. My daughter deserved this car.
I know I'm not in the wrong, but I'm still nervous. I look at the dealership owner through the windshield and he gives me a look that says everything will be fine. Just watch this. About 5 minutes later, a patrol car pulls up and the officer approaches the dealership owner. Before he even has a chance to ask any questions, the entitled woman starts shrieking at him at full volume.
I want that witch arrested. She assaulted me and my daughter, and she's trying to steal my daughter's car.
The cop unfazed and just looks at me, then over to the dealership owner without blinking. Hey. He calls the dealership owner by his first name. Is this true? Not a word of it. And if you want, you can check the lot's security cameras. He also calls the cop by his first name. The entitled parent is fuming and the entitled brat is just rolling her eyes like we were boring her or something.
Why don't you believe me? You're not seriously going to take her word over mine? Just look at her.
Ma'am, I need to get both sides of the story. Now you said she tried to steal?
Yes, that's my daughter's car.
Alright, fine. That's easy enough to prove. The cop walked over to the passenger side of the door, on the opposite side from where the Karen was still seething, and motioned for me to open the door. I did, and he of course asked for my ID, my registration, and my proof of insurance. It didn't take the cop long to notice my name on a license and a name on a registration, which was also dated from almost 2 years ago. Of course they were a match. He just nods, hands me back my stuff and closes the door. Ma'am, that's her car.
Not possible, she just got her. She couldn't have signed the papers. Why are you all against my daughter? She needs a car.
Ma'am, you do realize it's a crime to try to file a false police report, right? This car isn't stolen and I seriously doubt she assaulted you. I am going to look at the cameras. Karen tried to leave but the officer wouldn't allow it. He looked over the footage, realized she was the one harassing me and took her away in his car. I thanked the dealership owner and the cop before he left. After slipping me a business card, He joked that if I ever needed another car in the near future, he'd ensure that no crazy people were hiding in the trunk. Hey everyone, hope you're doing well and having a good time. I've got some exciting news for you. I've just launched a brand new channel called Crown Corner that I will be narrating stories on it daily myself. Let's just say that if you love hearing about unbelievable entitled people and those unforgettable Karens, you're going to love what's in store on the new channel. So here is what I need from you, my good friends. Head over to the new channel, you'll find a link in the description below, and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss out on any of our wild stories. Your support means the world to me, and I can't wait to see you there. Let's keep the stories rolling. Thank you so much for being part of this journey with me. And now, let's dive into our stories. Totally forgot about this until I heard a similar story. This happened many years ago, but I remember most of it because it was just so stupid, and I briefly wrote about it in my journal. I'm female and at the time was in my late 30s, as were the rest of the group. I used to have a friend, she moved so we lost touch, who had an uber witch of a younger sister, along with her rotten little 8-year-old female goblin. I mean, this kid was such a jerk and her mom enabled and indulged her. This kid would always take other people's stuff and either mess with it, break it, or eat it, or steal it. I would throw a fit if you stopped her, causing her mom to get in your face. Of course, her mother never offered to replace anything. One night, a bunch of us, all women this night, went to my friend's house for a horror movie marathon night. We did movie night 2 to 3 times a month, always with a different theme, and friends and spouses were welcome. And each of us was expected to bring a snack, drinks, alcohol was optional, and 1 or more movies we'd then pick via mutual agreement, the 3 or 4 we liked best to watch. Suffice to say, young kids weren't allowed. We were well into our first movie and 2 bottles of wine when my friend's front door opens and her sister walks in, unannounced. Says she's going clubbing and tries to dump the kid on us because we were staying home anyway, so it shouldn't be a big deal. My friend was pissed and refused to watch the kid because she later told us that 1. She's a spoiled and destructive brat. 2. Her sister didn't call or ask despite multiple warnings. 3. This was her time to unwind with friends, not babysit her sister's rotten fruit. 4. None of the movies were remotely child-friendly and she wasn't gonna alter her plans just because her sister wanted to go clubbing. 5. Did I mention the kid was a spoiled, destructive brat? She didn't say any of this, just gave a flat no, to which both her sister and the kid threw a tantrum. Turned out she told her daughter she would be having a fun movie night with Auntie. As they argued, the kid took the opportunity to grab the remote and start playing the DVD we paused when they let themselves in. It was a 1980 remake of The Plot Pen Was Mine, and she started watching. None of us stopped her because honestly, we were too busy watching the sisters fight to notice. Ironically, we had paused it just before a particularly scary, gross scene where a little boy gets grabbed, pulled under the water, then comes up half melted and screaming before being dragged back under and devoured. Naturally, the brat freaks out and starts crying, which alerts her mother, who starts screaming at us for letting her kid watch. I'm paraphrasing here because this was a while ago and I didn't write her words. Our disgusting movies. Pretty sure she also dropped a couple of F-bombs too, then demanded to know who it belonged to. Since I hated this witch, I got up off the couch, but surprisingly so did another friend who is a very buff, sporty girl who the mother hated and actively feared because they had gotten into a fist fight the year prior when the uber witch flirted with my friend's fiancé at a party. And no, she wasn't drunk, then slapped my friend, who promptly beat the crap out of uber witch in front of everyone. My friend glared at her, then said, "It doesn't matter whose movie it is. What matters is you coming in here uninvited, giving your sister nonsense, not watching your kid, then getting pissed off when your kid again touches stuff that isn't hers and ends up scaring herself. Now I suggest you get your kid, turn around, and go home." A smart person would have done what my friend said, but Uber Witch was never particularly smart. Instead of leaving, she turns to me and starts getting in my face, probably figuring I wasn't gonna retaliate because she was smaller than me. She's my height but much slimmer. She was right, but also wrong. I have a temper, always have, but my temper will first manifest as sarcasm, right up until I either reach my saturation point or the clown picking the fight touches me. Then it's game on. And by that point, I don't give a damn if you're smaller or bigger. So she got in my face, screaming a mishmash of oral flatulence I didn't really listen to, nor care about except a sentence or two, like, we needed to care for her kid. When she stopped to take a breath, I said, why is it our job to watch your kid? It's not like any of us pushed her out of our womb. Upper H actually gasped, like someone in a graphic novel, and yelled in my face, you have a son? Yes, I do, I replied, starting to get really mad. But do you see him here? No, that's because I'm not a self-centered jerk who bring him to an adults-only gathering or dump him on others without asking. This really set her off, and like any entitled moron who can't fight, she tried to slap me. Luckily, she fights like a girl. Too bad for her, I don't. When she pulled her arm back, people never telegraph your blows. I moved slightly to the side, grabbed her arm, rotated it behind her back, grabbed her hair, then planted her face hard in the nearest wall, pinning her arm behind her back. Damn, it felt good. She struggled and cursed, but I wasn't letting go. I told her she had 3 choices. She could take her kid and leave quietly. I could beat her in front of her kid. I'd never do that, but she didn't know that, and by this point, one of the others had taken the kid into the kitchen, but I was too busy to notice. Or I could call the cops, have her arrested for assault, then call her ex, who hated her because she cheated, to come pick up the kid. She agreed to option 1, but then tried to get her sister to side with her. Once I released her, because, well, family. Friend responded by taking her keys, removing her house key, and telling her that neither she nor her kid were welcome in her house and to please get the hell out. The look on the entitled mother's was one of utter shock. She then looked at all of us for support. Why she looked at me for help, I just don't get it. But we just glared at her. Realizing nobody would side with her, she grabbed her kid, called us all a bad name, especially me, and left, slamming the door. Friend apologized to us, no need, we all knew her sister was a jerk, then immediately called her parents, giving them the lowdown and warning them that unless they wanted to end up watching the brat all weekend, they would better get in their car and go anywhere else. Her sister had done this before many times, and to warn the other relatives too. The entitled mother didn't get to go clubbing and soon after lost custody of her kid to her ex.
And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.